Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Taurus for August 2018. Go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, check out my blog, and also if you're into self-development, I have lots of goodies for you on my site, both for personal and professional development. So what's going on in the month of August? We have Mars retrograde, but then going direct. We have Mercury retrograde, but then going direct. We have the third eclipse in our set of 3 eclipses. We also have an amazing grand Earth trine, and we have a beautiful water trine. We have a handful of annoying squares in between all of this, but I'd say the energy of the month is overridingly very good, very positive and very powerful. So I'm calling the theme of the month for Taurus stability and long-term blessings. And this is coming from a number of different places, but the first place I want to talk about is the manifestation of this Earth trine. A trine is a 120-degree angle. A grand trine is when we have 3 planets, each separated by 120 degrees, making this beautiful sacred geometrical shape. It's very powerful. Because you are an earth sign and your sign is part of this, it can bring even more blessings for you. Everyone will feel this. Every sign will feel this. But the earth signs are really involved here. So especially, so this is for all Taurus placements, but especially if your birthday is like if you're an April born Taurus, then this trine will have even more manifestation for you. But the energy of Earth and a trine is this stability, it's security, it's material gains, it's has to do with long-term accomplishment, things you've been working on for a while, things that will take root and grow for a long time and bring blessings in the current time and also the future. So, further accentuating the energy of the trine, bringing in wonderful things, we also have a water trine. Water trines, any kind of trine is great for everybody, but especially water and earth move beautifully together. So again, back with these angles, astrology is a science, and this science is based in math. So although there is an intuitive art to astrology, which is based on the subjective eye of the reader, right? There is a science behind it all, and a lot of the mathematical connections come through these angles. So certain angles carry certain vibrational experiences, and the angles that water and earth make to one another are very much in harmony, very much in flow with each other. So when there's something notable going on in the earth realms, with the planets in the earth realms, it's going to kiss the earth placements even more. And the same thing with the water. This water trine is going to really bless your Taurus placements. So this is true for all Taurus placements, but it's especially true for those near 15 degrees. So we'll say between 10 and 20 degrees, like if you have your rising sign or your anything, your sun sign, your moon sign, between 10 and 20 degrees, especially the closer to 15 degrees, the more powerful. And so for the birthdays, that's going to be most powerful for the ones around May 5th, but also you'll feel very strongly like between May 1st and May 10th will be extra juicy for you. So like the blending of the ethereal and the formless and the abstract and the artistic with this beautiful manifestation of earth magic, because we'll feel the energy of the trines simultaneously. This story of this water trine is telling a story that started at the end of 2017, kind of went on the back burner, came back up again at the end of May, beginning of June, and now is reaching its final culmination. So that aspect occurs on August 19th, but the days between like August 9th and then the rest of August into September are really heavy with this. It's dripping with awesomeness. The Earth trine will be feeling that for the whole second half of August and the whole first half of September. So this is, you know, a really juicy, exciting, long blessing sequence. So then we have the eclipses. We have 3 eclipses in this cycle. The way I've chosen to break it down to most help you understand how these manifest is I took the June, July, and August report and I chose one of the eclipses for each. So if you have not already listened to my June and July report for Taurus, I highly recommend that you do that, because those July eclipses, although they were in July, they're still relevant now. Eclipses as an astronomical event occur on one day, but eclipses as an astrological event occur over a long period of time within cycles and cycles within cycles. So we're working within a cycle that started in 2017 and is moving through 2019. So there's that bigger picture there. We also have this like between 4 and 6 weeks before the eclipses, which started in July, and then 4 to 6 weeks after, which goes well into August and September even, and the beginning of October even for the August eclipse. There's this eclipse season. So this just very active with potentials of movement along this continuum that has been happening. So you can see the July 12th solar eclipse manifestations for Taurus in my June report. You can see the July 27th Aquarius lunar eclipse manifestations for Taurus in my July report. So the first eclipse is in the June report, the second eclipse is in the July report, and this third eclipse on August 11th at 18 degrees of Leo, I'm going to talk about that one right now. So all Taurus placements will experience this eclipse in the 4th house. Okay, this 4th house is the house of home and family. Solar eclipses tend to bring in new things. Sometimes in order to have something new, it's coupled with the taking away of something else. So like an ending and a beginning wrapped into one. But either way, this new opportunity is centered around home and family. So this has to do with real estate. You could be purchasing a new home. You could be buying a second home. You could be moving, selling your other house. You could be renting your other house out and moving into another house. You can have a person move into your house, a roommate, a relative. You could have a new person coming into your family. So either through marriage, now all of a sudden you have a sister-in-law, or your brother's having a baby and that's a new entrance to the family. Or you could find out that you're having a baby or your significant other is pregnant. So new additions to home, new additions to family, new opportunities in family, new chances. For people who work within the realms of anything house-based or working from home, this can also manifest as work possibilities. So if you're a realtor, if you do feng shui, if you do design work, if you do construction work, you know, anything that has to do with servicing people's homes, building homes, working with homes, or working from your home, or wanting to start a home business, all of that is wrapped up in this eclipse energy. So lots of amazing potential there. Sometimes eclipses bring drama, but a lot of times these solar eclipses tend to bring just massive opportunity. And since the eclipse is in the midst of the retrograde, so Mercury and Mars will both be retrograde still at the time of this eclipse, there might be a tilt towards the past, you know, so usually it will be something worked on in the past will come to this powerful fruition. This can also be something having to do with mother, or in some cases even father, parents, or a family member, something important going on with a family member or with your relationship with a family member. This can also have to do with psychological breakthroughs. The things that happen to us as children affect us as adults. That is absolutely undisputed in anyone who's educated on the matters. And if you're doing inner work, you may have a major breakthrough. If you're not doing inner work, you may still have an epiphany where like you realize one day, wow, this pattern that's been going on, it's been going on for my whole life. And this person who I've attracted in my life sure reminds me of how my parent made me feel. You know, so this looking back to the past, to seeing the present circumstances, and then being able to shift the future based on the recognition of and the solving of issues and patterns. So there are a lot of potentials there. So those are the things that are most on my mind for Taurus. Now I want to talk about the theme of the month for all signs, mantras to hold close to you as you move through August. This is a very powerful month. There's a lot going on. So I have some suggestions as to how you can use this energy most beneficially to maximize the potentials. And I also want to give you some of the dates of those annoying squares that I mentioned, because overridingly the energy is very positive. But we do have some uncomfortable angles distributed throughout the month. So I'm going to give you the dates of those and more details about that to look out for. So we'll go into all that now. So the theme of the month for August 2018 for all signs is magical alignments and abundant blessings. And that is for a bunch of different reasons. We have so many things going on now culminating into these magical potentials. So we've got Mars retrograde and then going direct around between the 26th and 28th of August. We have Mercury retrograde, and that was starting July 26th, running through August 18th or 19th, depending on your time zone. We have the new moon solar eclipse in Leo. That's going to be on August 11th. We've got 2 outer planet trines, so there's magical things going on there. We have a full moon in Pisces at 3 degrees on August 26th. So these are a lot of things that are going on. So I want to just give you a little recap of how to use these energies well and hit a couple of dates to note. Also note that the information that I'm giving you, if you are better with written and looking at things visually, you can get a written version of what I'm describing, plus more details about the general transits and aspects for August and every month when you sign up for my free newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com. When you sign up at anniehelpsyou.com, you'll get a resend of all the newsletters I've sent for recent times, so you can catch up with what's going on. And then of course I always send these out a month early so you have them for your planning purposes, so you know the good days, the dicey days, and things like that to make your plans. So the eclipses and the retrogrades are both increasing the odds that things worked of, dreamed of, and planned on in the past will come to fruition now. This is a major time of continued manifestation. The retrogrades are not good for certain things, which you can check out on my website, anniehelpsyou.com, and also check out on my YouTube channel. If you put in Annie Botticelli YouTube, I have lots of videos about Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, on the things to avoid during these transits. But there are a lot of things that these retrogrades are really amazing for. And one of them is to let things come to you, is to be the spider. It's like you've woven your web, and maybe you're also weaving a web for future catches in the future, but it's in the backdrop. But you're just letting things come in. You're relaxing, you're stressing the best way you can, you're not forcing things, you can be comfortably productive, but it's more about being the spider and letting your food come to you. Another theme of this month is taking a break from the norm in big and small ways. Even something as simple as driving down a different street to go to work builds new neuronal pathways in your brain. And not only is that good for the longevity of your mental capacities, it's also, when you light up new neuronal pathways in your brain, it activates new energy in your field to bring in new things to you, to break out of old, a matrix, an old matrix. So you can do things different in a small way, or you could do things different in a big way. There's an example that I want to give you about this artist that I know, who is very detailed in his painting, but he was stuck. He wasn't getting paid for his creative work, and sometimes it would take him years to complete a painting. Of course, if you see the painting, it would be like, wow, you can't even believe that somebody could create that, especially with a small paintbrush. But he was stuck. And so during this cycle of the retrograde, he started watching Bob Ross. I don't know if you know Bob Ross, the epic Bob Ross with his epic hair, but you can look him up on YouTube. He basically teaches you how to paint landscapes, and you can watch him paint this amazing landscape picture in like 20 minutes. It's crazy. So he started watching Bob Ross and then started applying this very fast using of the artistic skills to get in and get out and finish things. And because of that, things unlocked for him, and he's had this whole new opportunity for being paid for his artistic work, when before he was stuck in the same old way. But that's how you can that's an example of how you can use these retrograde energies to just break from the norm, to open yourself up for more opportunities now from the eclipses and other things, and also in the future. So definitely check out my Mars retrograde blog and video. Definitely check out my Mercury retrograde video. But do know that this month we are carrying those energies, but both of those planets are going direct. So I gave you those dates earlier. If you're traveling now or ever, and you are interested in seeing what the astrology for your travel time is, things to look out for, things to be aware of, you can check out my website, Astrology Kiss Travel Bliss. And I do monthly travel astrology reports on there. Okay, so this long series of retrogrades that we've had for months could be wearing on you, and your patience could be running thin. This, plus this notable amount of squares, so I'm calling it minor annoyances with these squares, but major blessings because of these, the solar eclipse and the outer planets coming together in beautiful configuration. But just know that you're going to have a little bit of an open boosting time. So even though the personal planets being retrograde are not going to end this long sequence until like December, at the end of August, beginning of September, you'll have a little bit of a break from the deep retrograde energies, okay? So if certain things have to bubble up, you know, effervescence, just bubbling up, you might notice some momentum and some things starting to pick up at that point. In general, issues with anger at present or past situations can come up strongly. So the more you can not act from a charged space, the more you can prevent yourself karmic repercussions. And also adopting the spiritual recognition of divine timing over your own timing is a major theme that the astrology of this month wants you to bring into your forefront. Everything is happening just as it's supposed to, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Okay, so I'm going to hit a couple of highlights of dates to watch. August 1st, we've got a square. Tension can create breakthroughs here, but any way you can break free from something, just try to do it with care and not with anger. August 6th, we have another square, the Sun and Jupiter. So you can feel very proud and capable with this transit, but depending on how you bring that feeling out to the world, maybe it won't be well received. So just kind of watch it, try to tend to not overdo on any level, including spending, food and drink and substances and things like that. On August 7th, we have Uranus going retrograde. That starts at 2 degrees of Taurus and it goes retrograde back to 28 degrees of Aries. So anybody who has placements there, it won't go direct until January 6, 2019. So this is where the planet of change and freedom switches to do deeper work on your inner space. Okay, so either to catch up with changes that have already occurred in the outer realms or to prepare you for future changes that are coming in the outer realms. Also on August 7th, we have a beautiful trine with Venus and Mars. So this is a great little boost here in the midst of some of the annoying aspects. We've got on August 8th, Venus opposing Chiron. So it's very likely to bring up some challenges involving love and money, and feeling like your self-esteem is off or feeling like a victim is more likely at this time. But of course, it always gives us opportunities to have breakthroughs as well. August 8th, we have the Sun conjunct Mercury in Leo, so you can have your creativity ignited. It can fuel romance, it can increase fun, it can also increase ego flares and battles, so just tread lightly on charged topics. August 9th, we've got we have Venus square Saturn. I don't know where July just came from. Anyway, so Venus square Saturn. Whenever Venus, the planet of love and beauty and money, comes together with Saturn, just sort of this hard-nosed, you know, challenge bringer, especially in that type of configuration, it can bring money or relationship issues. So, you know, the need for you to deal with them is going to be higher, but your inclination to avoid them is also going to be high. We've got another square on August 10th between the 10th and the 11th of Mercury and Jupiter. Whenever we have squares with Jupiter, Jupiter is a benevolent outer planet. So even the challenging aspects with Jupiter can be softer than squares with other planets. So it can bring a lot of optimism, but again, with that, like a tendency to overdo, like I have so much energy, I don't know what to do with myself, and then now I just burn myself out or something like that. So just kind of be aware of what you're committing to. August 11th, we've got a solar eclipse, new moon at almost 19 degrees of Leo. So this is time to make your 10 new moon wishes on the topics of Leo. So anything with children, creativity, romance, fun, hobbies, addictions, leadership, acting, anything else that puts all eyes on you. So new opportunities and major new chapters can come in from that eclipse. August 19th, we have this official trine between Jupiter in Scorpio and Neptune in Pisces. So again, this started at the end of December. There's some story that started at the end of 2017. It got strong again at the end of May, beginning of June. And then this is the final connection. So if you have any, especially water placements close to 15 degrees, but really anything that would aspect the 15 degrees there is going to more closely affect you. And you'll feel that trine for quite a while, you know, a while before the 19th and a while after the 19th. August 25th, we have a grand Earth trine with the Sun in Virgo, Saturn in Capricorn, and Uranus in Taurus, and those are at 2 degrees. So if you have any planets at 2 degrees, especially, you know, something that causes an astrological aspect with Earth in those signs, there's going to be more effects for you. August 14th through September 13th, we will very likely feel this beautiful effect. So launches and important things can be great. Even though we're kind of still doing a lot of retrograde energy, if you have to push in something at the end of August, beginning of September, you can ride the coattails of this trine while getting, Mars will be direct as of between the 26th and 28th. Mercury is already direct, so you'll have more momentum here and you might see some really beautiful things happen. August 27th, Mars is direct at 28 degrees of Capricorn. That post-shadow period stretches until October 10th, so it won't regain full oomph until then. But momentum and drive and ambition will definitely, for those of you where it was waning, it will very likely start to return, sometimes to the day. It'll be a little sleepy, but you'll feel something different, like something's waking up. So on August 27th or 28th, depending on your time zone, Mercury will square Jupiter. Again, we had that square earlier that I mentioned, but because Mercury was in retrograde, then it did it in retrograde, then when it went direct, it did it again. So just be careful of overcommitting. And if you can promise or commit to only a fraction of what you feel like you can do, then you'll be happier, because as time moves on from this moment, your optimism or the reality may set in. And if you commit to something from that high space, then it's going to be hard for you to pull it through. Okay, so these are the things that are most on my mind for the transits in August. Definitely, if you'd love to learn astrology, check out my website, anniehelpsyou.com, for my astrology education options. If you'd like to be a coach as your profession, I would love to help you, teaching you my 6-step formula to getting results. I'm really good at setting and reaching goals, and I'd love to teach people how to do that for themselves and for other people too. If you'd like to bring your business online and have geographical freedom, you may be interested in my Creating Successful Online Business course, which you can also see at anniehelpsyou.com. Remember that if you would like a written horoscope from me, often with different things than I talk about in the video, you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com. At cozybysweetstarlight.com, you will see blogs featured from people, up-and-coming bloggers, also from myself, and my horoscopes are featured there. But there are a lot of different lifestyle blogs there that I think you will enjoy. So check that out. Go to my husband's website, IamHelios, IamHelios.com, to learn tarot. Also, he does astrology readings, tarot readings, and other cool things you can see on his site. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.